multi-output device.
Yeah, that was pissing me off, so I just stopped looking at it. We'll figure that out next time. I thought we had it figured out, and then turns out we didn't.
We did.
Huh?
We did have it figured out.
We did.
We had it figured out.
We did, but
the software costs
yeah,
money though.
yeah.
That's what we don't want.
I need to spit my gum out so people don't have to listen to me chew my gum the whole time. And I think we're live. All right, I know we got a couple people on right now. If everything's looking good on your end, leave us a comment on the live chat. That way we know it's looking good and sounding good. We're going to wait, I don't know, 5 or so minutes, and then we'll get started when a couple more people get on, or I know there probably won't be that many that are going to get to watch it live, but I think this will be good for people that get to watch it back after this is all said and done, and once we get through this wonderful, wonderful coronavirus. So I don't know what the latency is. I'm looking at the live stream on YouTube on my other monitor, and it looks like it's pretty good latency, so I don't know. Audio is very low. Okay, we can turn that up. Oh, I can't turn that up. That's way up. Okay. Let's see what we can. Which audio is low? The me talking or the computer? My push-ups will get done after this. I'm not doing them right now. Somebody's asking me about my push-ups.
Yo, like 75 push-ups.
Yeah, right now. I'm not doing that. Not right now. You people are crazy. All right. I'm going to play some audio through here. All right. All right, so I got some people saying low, talking's low, some people saying it's good on their end, so I don't know what to believe. Looks good but smells bad. That's pretty good. We had this like audio perfect yesterday when we were setting this up. And of course, the way that we were streaming the audio to you guys wanted us to pay for the service, and it was like $100. And I'm like, yeah, not doing that. I wish I'd get a freaking email. My God. I turned up the volume more than usual, and it sounds better. Okay. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I run mine at full blast all the time. So maybe that's what I'm used to, is just that full blast audio. So, Dustin, does it sound any better for you? When everybody gets set, we'll get going. Give everybody about 2 more minutes. Why does my computer say it's... Oh, because it is 10 a.m. I'm like, what? I forgot we were doing this at 10. Oh, me. And this is going to be a little bit different for me too, guys, just because you can't hear it. Well, I know I'm getting levels, so I know the stream's going out with levels. I'm looking at the levels right here, and I can pull it a little closer to my face, and I can kind of turn it sideways so you can get both the computer and I had the computer monitor audio going out, but it's making me pay $99 so you guys can hear it, and I'm not doing that. So we'll have to go from here. And remember, you can always watch this back once it goes on YouTube, and you'll be able to, I'm sure, hear it a lot better. And you can kind of go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So if everybody's ready, because I mean, I'm looking at my levels on the output, and I'm hitting right. I mean, I'm almost to the yellow and clipping, so I know there's good audio going out. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the edit. And so what I'm going to do is, first of all, I've got right here, as you can see, this is going to be the open. I've already pulled that in, so I'm going to kind of just put it out to the side. This, excuse me, this first part right here is going to be the tease or the intro, to where I'll use that to get me into the main episode that will happen after here. So all the tease and the open will go here. The main part of the show will go here. And I've already cut my interviews up. So here's the interviews. As you can see, I've already trimmed the fat on those. And there are 2 cameras. So you can see there's the first camera. There's the second camera, which I have not colored yet. So I'll have to color that. So what we're going to do is we'll use those interviews. So those are, I color coded them. This is Billy. This is Brian. And you see how Billy's on the right side of the frame. Brian's on the left side of the frame. That way when we cut back and forth, it makes sense in what we're doing. So I've got my timeline set up right here. And I've got it set up a little differently than I normally have it set up, just because I'm not editing on both of my monitors. And normally I'm editing on both of my monitors, so I'm only using one monitor because I can't stream both of my monitors, because you guys more than likely don't have to. So I've condensed my whole workspace just for you guys. You're welcome. Love you. So here's all my footage. I've got it broken up, and you can tell my typing's great. So I've got day 1, day 2, day 3 and 4. I've got my Florida B-roll. There's interviews on Clay's FS5. Then I've got my timeline. I've got the Spy Point logo. And then I've got the, I haven't brought it in yet, so I need to bring that in. I've got Brian Stevens, his lower third that was built. And I need to bring in one more, which is going to be on the main. It's going to be under graphics, and it's going to be under nameplates. It should be nameplates. And then Billy Lawson Black. Let's try this one. Make sure this is the right one. And it is. So there's both of my nameplates, and I'll put those in at a later time, later date. Anyway, so here's how I'm going to start a project. So obviously you can tell, other than the open, there is literally nothing. We are starting from ground zero. Only thing I've done is bring in my footage and have my screen set up how I want them set up. All my footage is in. There's no conforming down here, so that means that did that overnight, which I set this project up yesterday. That way this would be done. That way you guys don't have to wait on all that to be done. So those are all things you're going to have to do when you start your first project. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start roughing. And I usually don't do my tees first. I do my tees last. And the reason I do that is because it's way easier to do once I have the rest of the show built. So I'm going to edit from the end of my open first. And why I'm going to do that is because once I have the entire thing built, I am going to build from the end of the open forward. And once I get the whole show built, then I'll come back and build the intro or the tease, if you will. So that is my process. That doesn't have to be your process. I would recommend that being your process just because once you have the whole show built, essentially you've got the best of the best in the timeline, and you can go back and take that best of the best and create that intro way easier than going through and cherry picking all your raw footage. All right, and what we're going to do, the goal for today is I'm not going to edit this entire show. I can't edit this entire show on the live stream. I could, but it would take a long time, and some people would blow their brains out before it got done. So what we're going to do is we're going to build the first scene and maybe get into the first hunt. That's my goal today, and I think that'll give a really good take on how we're doing, how I'm doing it, what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, that, and the other. So there's no. Don't take this as the gospel. This isn't the absolute only way to edit. This is my process. This is what has worked for me. I can guarantee you step over in the next office across from me, and Ryer's process is completely different than mine. So, and this is just the way that works best for me. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I know I want to intro Florida. I want to intro what does Florida look like, what does it feel like, and all that. But the first thing I start with is music. So I'm going to go in here to my music libraries that I've already built, or I've already pulled stuff from, and I'm just going to find a song. I always start with a song first. A little too hardcore. A little too hardcore. A little too hardcore. That might could work. Let's try that. So we'll pull that song in. It's a short little song. So I'm going to bring that in over here. I'm going to line that up with the very end of my open. Right there is the big beat. So how does this end? Oh, so it goes to black there. Didn't know that. All right, so that's how that goes. So we want this to come in right here. And obviously that's loud, so we're going to turn that down. All right, let's go ahead and pull that back. But we don't want to pull it all back. We want to leave the end of that song, so we're just going to get rid of this. All right, so now what I want is I want B-roll that tells me we're in Florida, because I know the first interview that I want in here is this one from Brian. This interview right here. Welcome to Florida. Welcome to Florida. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that, because I know I want that in here somewhere. And I'm just going to drop it right there. All right, so now I'm going to go to my Florida B-roll that I've had shot, and there's them working out, which is what we're going to use for a transition. So So we don't need any of this. And I'm going to color code that so I don't have to click through that again. That way I know it's a certain subset of clips. So I'll go label that, and I'll label it red. Alright, so here's a shot of Florida. It's definitely Florida if I've ever seen it. And tell the audio's bad, but we don't need the audio. Let's just find that clean. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Let's pull that in there. So what I'm doing is I'm just scrubbing. I'm trying to find the shot that's establishing where we're at. And that might be long enough, so we're going to pull that one in. And there's some shots of old tree stands and cows. Golly, that's driving me insane, guys. I gotta turn that audio off till I find this clip. There's a good little section of it right there. So all I'm doing is scrubbing. I'm scrubbing through and finding clips. It says Florida. It's an old tree stand. And all I'm doing is going through here and hitting I and O until I find the spot that I want. Right there. And there's my shot. Oh, right before he comes down there. Alright, so let's pull that in. No, he does another one. Okay, this one's better. So we'll start here. Start in the movement. Don't start before the movement. Start in the movement. There's the movement. And that one's plenty long enough, so we're going to delete that last one and go with that one. And there's some cypress knees. So these definitely say Florida. This is all Clay's footage with a slider. That's a fairly dynamic shot. Let's see what that one looks like. Let's go through some. Oh, there's some better ones, I think. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. Nice high-speed cypress knee shot. Oh, and I don't like the turn, so I'm going to pull that in before the turn. Oh, yeah, there's my shot of the eagle, which if you looked at Instagram yesterday, you saw this shot before. Uh-oh. That's a little shaky. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use that. Okay, and that's the stuff that we shot behind the scenes. And then now what we can do is I can go into my drone, which I don't even know if I brought in. So let's import my drone footage. All right, main. And we're going to go to Spy Point series. We're going to go to Spy Point, Florida. And it should be drone. There it is. Import. Alright, and there's my drone. I know I have Florida drone in here. Oh, look at that. If that don't say Florida, I don't know what does. Oh, I think I'm chasing these birds. with the drone here earlier. Oh, that's a Florida shot if I've ever seen it. All right, we're just pulling clips. All right, there's a Florida shot, and let's mix that in here because I don't want a bunch of the same looking shots, so we'll mix it in. And that's a really long clip, I know, so let's probably go, there's a good one. There's that. There's my other shot, so we'll pull that in at the end. All right, so there's several shots on B-roll. Probably going to be more than we need. Red B-roll. I think I got some more shots here. Hold on. Let's see what we got. You got to be careful clicking through red footage if you ever do some stuff with red footage. You can't willy-nilly start clicking through like crazy because red will crash your crap faster than anything when you're clicking through. Oh yeah, we got a shot of this pig. It's actually a tame looking pig, or he's actually a tame pig that they had found. And they put in the pasture with the cows, and now he thinks he's a cow. So we are going to use him as B-roll. And I know I got more than this. All right, and this is us setting up in the evening. All right, so I think we've got enough. All right. So now what we're going to do is what I've talked about on a recent podcast. On the podcast that aired on Monday is why your videos suck editing edition is because you're not editing to this music. So here we go. I've pulled in these B-roll clips, and now what we're going to do is we're going to edit to the beat of this song. So follow along. Boom, there's the beat right there. So what do? We line that cursor up on the beat. We literally drag, wrong one. We drag that clip to that playhead, and look, they hit right on the beat. Boom. And there's another beat, so we drag it to that beat. There's another beat. Stop on the beat, drag it to it. Actually, I want to go to a drone shot here, so I'm going to drag this drone shot over. There's another beat. Drag it over. Another beat, drag it over. There's another one. Beat, drag it over. There's another one. Drag it over. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, and the reason I'm putting my drone on another, I'm putting my drone footage on another, so I'm putting it in video 2 versus video 1 like the rest. And I actually like to color code this too. That way I know it's the open, so I'm going to make it mango. So that way I know this is the open. And it stands out when I zoom out, it stands out in my timeline. But the reason I like to do these is once I color this clip, I can copy and paste it to this one. It's easier to copy and paste it when they're on the same level. So I just do that through editing. So see what this looks like. All right, so I need to get into the dialogue, which is this first line right here. So how's the best way to get into that? All right, well, I'm going to use it's not a long line. I think it actually is a longer line. Let me see. Here we are. Whoa, what happened to that? I'll have to fix that in a minute. Let's see. Effect controls. Oh, it's got a little Lumetri color already on it, and it's not supposed to have one. Let's get rid of that. All right, so let's see how we're going to get this audio in there. All right, what I want to do is I want to see what this song's going to do. Because sometimes I can use the song to my advantage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how this song is going to work. See how the song's changing pace? All right, see how that goes low there? That's where I want him to talk. So how do I make this piece of audio right here end up right here? Well, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cut it up. So let's find beats and start cutting. Right there's a big beat. So I'm gonna go in right there, I'm gonna cut. We'll find an area right here that's got a big beat. Right there's my cut. Right there it is. So let's bring that to right here on that playhead. Right there's the beat. You can hear it. You can hear it. So we'll drag that right there on that beat. Test to make sure it sounds right. I'm one frame off and I can see it. I can zoom in. I can even see right here in my playhead how I'm off one frame. Both clips are off one frame. So let's see. Perfect. So now I'm going to bring in this interview right here. Here we are. All right. So obviously that's low. We're going to turn that audio up.
Welcome to Florida. Here we are.
There we go. And we're going to turn this audio down. So how we turn this audio down, just underneath under my spoken words, I'm going to go under here. I'm going to cut, apply default transition. Now I'm just going to drag this and drag it down just a little bit. So let's play that through now.
Welcome to Florida. Here we are.
That's too much. So I want a little more sound underneath him. Let's try that.
Welcome to Florida. Here we are.
All right, you see how I let this shot softly introduce his talking. All right, and this is, Ryer, which one is this, a J cut or an L cut? Still doesn't make any sense to me. Come here and tell me which one this is, a J cut or an L cut. I think it's an L.
What's going over?
The B-roll is going over the talking. So is this a J or an L?
Welcome to Florida.
Is that an L?
Oh, now you got me confused.
See, I'm confused too. I know it doesn't make any sense to me.
That would be a
It looks
J
like
cut.
Well, how the hell does that look like a J?
Well, because take this audio, or take that video layer, drag it down, and just cut off that first part of the clip.
Like this?
Yeah, see? That's an L. Because your video, and then your audio comes, or a J, I'm sorry, it's a J, see?
Okay, that is not. There is no way that.
It makes sense. If you
It
think
doesn't make any sense. All right, for everybody listening, that makes no sense to me either. So if you're confused, just hide your audio, hide your cuts.
L would be the other way. So if you
So it would be like this.
You need audio. You have to have audio.
Oh, okay.
A J and an L both have to have an audio part
Okay.
of the cut.
All right,
It has
well,
nothing to do with video more.
Not on. All right, so we're not doing that on. All right, so this just hide your cut. All right, and I just saw Dustin wants to know that transition. I'm assuming you're using Premiere. I'm assuming everybody that's watching this is using Premiere. Literally, all it is inside any cut, which this is in video, which this is a no-no. I want to reiterate, this is a no-no. Inside these cuts, you just literally, as you hover over those cuts, you see how that little red thing pops up? I just right-click in that and apply default transition. And that's that. We don't ever want that. Don't do that. That is a no-no. Inside of audio, however, which is right here, you see how I hover, right-click, apply default transition. all that does is smooth my audio. I use that you can use that transition in audio all day, every day, not in video. Absolute no-no. All right, so here's where we're at. We're literally 10 seconds into this edit.
Welcome to Florida. Here we are.
All right, so now what we want to do is I need to introduce Brian and I need to introduce Billy. So here's Brian. So we're going to bring in his.
Welcome to Florida. Here we are.
All right, and we want this to be on the right side, so we're just going to slide it on over. I actually like it up here. This is my little take on it. So if you don't like it, then you can shut your mouth because I like it.
Florida. Welcome to Florida. Here we are.
All right, so now I am going to try and figure out where I go next. And to be honest, I don't know. I've got to kind of edit to my song and how my song's playing out. So the easiest thing to do is going to be transition back out with another drone shot. So let's go into our drone. See what we got here. All right, that's obviously a junk drone shot, so we're just going to go ahead and clear that out. All right, see what this one looks like. All right, I like this. All right, that looks like we're going hunting. Whoa. Got a little drunk there. All right, there's a shot. Pull that in here. All right, and we're going to use this to get to Billy. So let's get to him. And I'll show you what I mean in a second.
Brian and I have been best friends since we met in the 3rd grade,
Actually, I don't think I can use, I think I shot the interviews with Brian introing this. So let's see what we got here.
From my home turf, chasing Osceolas with my best friend. Could it get any better?
Yeah, that's what we're going to use. So we're going to pull that in, copy, paste, boom. Uh-oh, wrong button. All right. See what this looks like.
Here we are. We're on my home turf, chasing Osceolas with my best friend. Could it get any better?
All right, see what we got here. Now we got to get Billy in here. Now let's go to Billy, which is this line. I already know that's the line because I just played it. Copy and paste that in here. All right, we're going to softly intro him with this shot.
Any better?
Turn my audio up.
Get any better? Brian and I have been best.
All right, here's another little rule. See right here how there's this gap when he finishes talking?
Could it get any better? Brian and
I want to cut out that gap. Literally, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. I want to get rid of those frames. I'm literally just going to drag these back. And then I'm going to butt this up to it. That's how this is what we go into, that's how we get into trimming the fat. When I talked about trimming the fat on the podcast the other day, that is trimming the fat. Every little 4-frame piece you've got to get rid of, you get rid of it. And my computer's auto-saving.
Could it get any better? Brian and I have been best friends since we met in the 3rd grade, and since he moved to Georgia for work, we don't get to hunt as much together.
All right, obviously we don't want that big beat hitting right in the middle of him talking. So we've got some work to do here. So I'm not the happiest of how this is turning out at the moment. So let's watch through this and see what we can do. And you'll notice I watched through this kind of crap 1,000 times. So after this project's done, I'm tired of looking at it. Got an idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this piece of audio further up. And I'm going to get rid of his name tag. So I'm going to put it in here. That way we can move some of these clips further back. So I'm going to move this up. All right, go up. And I'm just trying to make space right now. I'm not doing anything special. So right here, and I'm going to bring this in. And I don't even have to have that second little beat now. So we'll pull this over here. Now we're going to have to re-edit to my music. Right, there's my beat. There's my beat. We'll bring in right here. All right, and here's the great use of the N tool. So this is the shortcut N. So I'm going to hit N. All right, so I'm going to explain how N works. All right, so you see how this right here, this audio has been already pulled down for this piece of talking that I used earlier, but now that I've moved it, I want to be able to move this piece all the way over here. Well, how do I do that without having to delete my cuts, make everything and then make new cuts over here? Or I can just hit N, grab that edit, drag it to there. Oh, I can't do that because I've already made a cut earlier. All right, but I can do it for this other one. So I'm going to drag it there, and I'm going to make this apply default transition, and I'm going to go in here, cut, go back to my V, apply default transition, pull this audio down. Now let's see what this sounds like.
Welcome to Florida.
A little too quiet, so I'm going to bump this back up a little touch.
Welcome to Florida. Welcome to Florida. We're on my home turf, chasing Osceolas with my best friend. Could it get any better?
All right, now we're going to put Brian's thing there. His slate or nameplate or whatever you want to call it. We're going to move it back to the right place. Let's go to Effect Controls and move it where we want to move it, right there. All right.
We're on my home turf, chasing Osceolas with my best friend.
All right.
Could it get any better?
All right, now we're going to use this shot to transition us to Billy.
Could it get any better?
And we're going to butt those two things right against each other, right here. I think I'm liking this better.
My best friend. Could it get any better?
Brian and I have been.
Could it get any better?
Brian and I.
All right, now we're going to pull in Billy's, which is here. Actually, I'm going to do this because I don't want to pull in the whole thing. I'm just going to set an out point. I'm going to drag this in here, right there. And I'm going to reframe how I want his to sit, like this. All right.
Have been best friends since we met in third grade, and since he moved to Georgia.
All right, here's another little dirty trick. All right, you see how this, how his lower third, I'm gonna mute the audio so you can listen. All right, so you see how this comes in, how Billy's name comes in. Well, I'd love for that to go out the same way, but see how it just goes away? Well, here's a little dirty trick. Is what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this first half, we're gonna copy, and over here we're gonna paste it. and drag it back in. So now let's watch this. So it comes in and then it does it again. Well, all we got to do right here is on the second one, right click, speed duration, reverse. Now watch what it does.
And since he moved to Georgia for work, we don't get to hunt as much together as we used to.
Dirty, dirty, dirty. Now we're just going to shorten it up because it's a little bit long. Shorten this up.
And since we met in third grade, and since he moved to Georgia for work, we don't get to hunt as much.
And there I created my own graphic with the graphic. And we're going to use this to cover up the end of the edit.
Since he moved to Georgia for work, we don't get to hunt as much together as we used to.
All right, now here's what we call pace changes. Here's how we change the pace. See how this song is now going to go, it's going to hit that big beat again? Well, there's this big gap right here. I want that to hit right on the end of Billy. Well, look, there's a beat right there. So we're going to cut there. We're going to cut right in front of this beat, and we're going to drag it to one another.
Hunt as much together as we used to.
All right, so we've cleared that beat up. Now there's a gap right here in Billy's talking, because that way we can see how it's overhanging on that beat just a little bit. We can clean that up right here. We can cut this gap on his talking out, and we'll slide these two together, and we'll give ourselves a little jump cut in here. Right there. We're going to bump that up to 55 so we get a jump cut.
Since he moved to Georgia for work.
And look at that. It's like it never even happened.
With my best friend. Could it get any better?
Brian and I have been best friends since we met.
All right, that's a touch hot. Let's turn that down just a hair. 9 there.
Could it get any better?
Brian and I have been best friends since we met in third grade, and since he moved to Georgia for work, we don't get to hunt as much together as we used to.
And I want that clip to hit on that beat right there. Come on, computer. There we go. All right, so we have built 30 seconds so far. So that is the intro scene to set the stage for what we're doing. I'm hoping that makes sense. Is this making sense? Is this over your head? Is this like, where are we, guys? On the guys commenting, the guys still paying attention and watching. Is this good, bad, ugly, too much, too fast, too slow? Kind of give me some feedback, because I don't, it's hard for me unless you're sitting here with me and saying, hey, stop, what'd you do, all that good jazz, for me to be able to really dive into every key that I'm hitting, just because it's, to me, it's second nature now on what buttons to hit and where to go. But as you can see, there's a lot of cuts in this 30 seconds. I don't want to count them, but I would say there's 50 in this 30-second piece. But the shortcuts are absolutely imperative to learn if you want to be fast. And Ryer knows more shortcuts than I do. But it's just one of those things to where learning those shortcuts are going to make you so much faster. I don't understand. I saw what you just wrote, Dustin, on the, I need topic music first instead of last. That doesn't make sense. Oh, I need to pick music first instead of last. Oh yeah. I like to pick music first. I like to edit to music. It makes my life way easier if I have the song to beat to. Now sometimes I'll go in and I'll rough cut these pieces first and then find the song that kind of matches them, but rarely. Usually I start with the song first. That's just kind of my way of doing it. So let me see what I can get into here. So we're 30 seconds in. I need to do a couple more clips to end out this scene. Then what we're going to do is we'll end our song and then we'll get into the first hunt. So let's see what the next interviews say here. So we've already used this interview, so we're going to delete that. What's this next one say?
This is the first time I shot a shotgun.
All right, so that's later on. We've already used this one.
Where I'm a home.
We've already used this one. It's this one.
Billy's been running a ton of spy-point cameras, knowing exactly where these birds are roosting and hanging out, and that's where we're going.
All right, so we can use that clip now. So we're going to get into this turkey master here, and that's going to be the clip that gets us into the hunt. So what does he say at the end of this? Don't remember.
And since he moved to Georgia for work, we don't get to hunt as much together as we used to.
All right, so we're going to replace this clip with one of these other ones that I don't like as much. Like this one. Since we've already used 2 Cypress Knees clips, we're going to put it in here.
Where I'm a home turf, chasing Osceolas with my best friend. Could it get any better?
Brian and I have been best friends since we met in 3rd grade, and since he moved to Georgia for work, we don't get to hunt as much together as we used to.
All right, so now I need a clip. Is we're gonna lead in. So this interview says that that Billy's been checking trail cameras. Well, I've got some B-roll of him checking trail cameras. I've just got to find it. It is gonna be on this. I think it's in this red B-roll somewhere. All right, it's not in there. Where the heck is it? I know we've got it. I gotta find this, guys. Give me a second. Don't want these 2 clips. Both of those are behind the scenes crap. All right, I think it's in here, red. All right, yeah, I think we're getting close now. Ah, no. See what I said about clicking through Red's footage too fast? It'll crash your stuff. It just crashed mine. So yeah, y'all got to see Adobe Premiere do Adobe Premiere stuff. All right, so we just closed Premiere, and now we're going to reopen it. It happens way more often than I would like to admit, but it does. Because Red footage is a huge pain in the butt sometimes. All right, so luckily that's why we are diligent in how we save. So now we're right back to where we started. Now let's find that clip that we're looking for. And I don't know where the heck it's at. I know it's a high-speed clip. All right, so there's them working out. All right, here it is. This is the clip I was looking for. Found it. All right, so I'm going to get Billy walking in here, putting up this trail cam. Boom. That's a long clip because it's going to be in high speed. So we're going to speed this up. It's in 120, so 100% of 120 is 400%. All right, it's also in 4K, so I've got to shorten or make it effect controls back to 50%. All right, right here on this beat. So I'm doing this subconsciously. I'm trying to talk through this, guy. Sorry. So here's my shot. This shot is in 4K 120, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down right on this beat. Right there on that beat. Right there. Boom. I'm going to come in right here, cut, V. I'm going to make this 100%. right there. So it's gonna slow down. Boom. And I'm gonna cut out here. And I'm gonna go into this clip. Uh-oh, wrong one. Wrong, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, jacking myself up here. All right, we're gonna go back to this clip. And we want tight on the hands, so we're gonna come in here. So we're using one clip as multiple. Right there. So we want to paste attributes, so we're gonna go to motion, Command C, Command V, that way this one looks the same as that one. And all I did to make this clip have the same properties as this clip is I click on the clip that I want to copy the properties. I go in there and I find the properties I want to copy, which is motion. Click on motion, Command C, go to this one, click on it, Command V. And they look the same as terms of framing. If I didn't do that, if I had this one still set on 100, that's what it would look like versus that. So I'm going to play through this and let you see what I've done. All right, now he's talking again. So I'm using this clip to cover up the talking. I'm going to turn my talking up. I'm going to Command C. I'm going to C, V, go back to my cursor, apply default transition, pull my volume down, and then play this through.
Bill's been running a ton of...
All right, that needs to give a little more room to breathe. And we'll take my end tool, slide this out just a hair, slide this one out just a hair, go back to V, constant, back that out, play.
Bill's been running a ton of spy-point cameras, knowing exactly where these birds are roosting and hanging out, and that's where we're going.
All right, and we're gonna use this because to me that interview's too long. So what we're gonna do is we're going to show this bottom camera, which is, whoa, it's got a lot of color on it, doesn't need yet. And this color's rough, guys. This is not colored. This is raw, footage.
Know exactly where these birds are roosting and hanging out, and that's where we're going.
And that's where we're going. So I'm gonna come in right there when he's done talking, and I'm gonna trim the fat. There we go. Cancel. Command C. And now I'm gonna end this song. So I've now set the scene. He says where we're going. So now I've set the scene for us hunting. So I'm going to go out here and I'm going to find the end of this song somehow. Let's see if we can use this. Command C. Uh-oh. Command C. Let's see if we can find a way to use this. Let's try right there. See if this sounds like how this sounds. Good. So what we're going to do is that's exactly where we're going. Let's see, let's click through some more of this B-roll. See what we've got here. All right, that's all Billy. All right, I want B-roll of Billy checking cameras some more. He's putting new cards in cameras. All right, so there's a clip that I can use, and then I need the ending. There we go. That could work. Let's see what that looks like. Turn that on, closing it up. Boom. Don't know, there's a little shaky. Let's go through these and see what this looks like. All right, there's the shot. Rack focus, close. Oh, too much. Right there, close, walk off. There's the end. That's what we wanted right there. See what that looks like.
That's what we're going.
Oh, these are all big. I still have that no, I don't still have that motion copied. We'll go in here, 50, go to this one, 50.
That's what we're going.
Oh, want that on the beat. Missed the beat. There's the beat, so I want it here. So we'll just drag this clip out just a hair more.
We're going.
All right. So there's our scene. So let's watch it back.
Welcome to Florida. We're on my home turf, chasing Osceolas with my best friend. Could it get any better?
Brian and I have been best friends since we met in third grade, you know, and since he moved to Georgia for work, you know, we don't get to hunt as much together as we used to.
Bill's been running a ton of 5-point cameras, knowing exactly where these birds are roosting and hanging out. That's where we're going.
Boom. All right, now we get into the hunt. Who's ready to see some hunting footage? I am. All right, day one, morning. Here we go. Oh, turkey's gobbling. I'm just listening for the good footage or the good sound here. Uh-oh, got some audio popping there. I know there's some good gobbling in here, so I'm looking for it. Y'all might not can hear it because it's quiet to me. I'll be on this other one. Oh, there it is. There we go. That's the sound I wanted. All I want, since that's a black screen, I just want the audio. So I'm just going to drag the audio in. So there's the audio. Now I know I've got a shot. I know I've got a shot right here. I've got a setup shot somewhere. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even get a setup shot this morning because the turkeys come in so fast. Maybe I did. Hold on. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. All right. So there's the early morning shot. And we're going to use just the video from this and the audio from the other clip. So yes, I'm lying a little bit. So sue me. Let's see what this looks like. Butt this up here. boosting that. And Dustin, I'm not running any audio on the Red yet. It's all internal, and all this hunt's going to be on the FS7. None of this is on the Red. Actually, we're not gonna, I don't know if we're gonna fade to black here and fade out from black or not. Let's see. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, that'll work. I want to come in softly with the audio though. All right, guys, and listen and pay attention to how we set up for this. So we're going to do a podcast this week on, or probably today, on how we set up to film turkeys. And that's the most important thing on why and how we got good footage for this, and how and why this edit's going to turn out good. It's not because I'm a good editor. It's because this was set up for good video. It was set up for good production. It wasn't, we didn't just show up, plop down, and try and kill something. We set up for if the turkeys come in, the video is going to be great. That's how we set up. We didn't, that was the forefront thought on our mind, was making sure this setup is the absolute best it can be for video. Not to kill them, because we could have killed them 15 times before we shot them. We set this up for video, not for, we set this up to hunt, we set this up for the best video we could possibly get, not for the best hunt setup we can get. Because we could set up way better and kill them way easier, because we set up underneath the turkeys. We didn't even know it. We set up in a spot that we had already found the day before. This spot right here, we went in the evening before, found it, already set up where we were going to sit. We planned it all out. We're like, this is where the decoys are going to be. This is where we're going to sit. This is where Caleb's sitting. This is where Brian's sitting. This is where Billy's sitting. This is where Clay's sitting. We have 4 guys here, 2 cameras. Billy's calling, Brian's shooting. So we've got it set up exactly how we want it for video. That has got to be the absolute first thing on your mind, is how the video is going to go. So here we go. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. We need to set up here.
The morning started out with us getting shell-shocked.
All right, because we do get shell shocked because these turkeys are directly over our head. And you see how I set these interviews up.
This is the first time I shot a shot.
Hold on, let me reply this.
Shotgun at a turkey since I was a little kid.
Oh, no, I forgot. No, Billy is shooting on this, not Brian. So Brian is calling, Billy is shooting.
This should be fun. I haven't shot a shotgun at a turkey since I was a little kid, so that the birds had roosted directly over our head, and when they gobbled, it scared us to death.
Here we go. So this is what I want. All right. So here, and we are going to, nope, wrong button. Slide this over so we can hide this edit. So this is not Brian, this is Billy, sorry. I only shot this like 4 days ago and I've already forgotten who it is. All right, you see how the audio kind of goes abrupt? I need to bring this audio down, and I need to slide it under here, and I need to softly end it instead of letting it end so abruptly. But you see how I'm using this clip to cover this piece of this edit up.
The morning started out with us.
I need to turn this audio up to 9, I think is what we've been running it to. Something around there.
The morning started out with us getting shell shocked.
The birds.
All right, you see there's that gap. Trim the fat, get rid of this, butt it up to there.
The bird.
Shell shocked.
The birds had roosted directly overhead, and when
All
they
right,
gobbled,
so now
it scared us to
I
death.
want B-roll to support what he's saying. So let's see what we can use as B-roll here. I think we've got an Osmo shot here. That one's not it. That one's not it. This one will work because it's dark as Egypt. See if this one works. Let's try this. Let's see here. See what we can use. Still a little bright. Yeah, let's see what we got here.
The birds had roosted directly over.
Yeah, it's too dark. I don't like that shot. See if Clay got anything that we can use. Yeah, there's a good shot. So we can use that. It's dark enough, but bright enough to where we can tell what it is. Pull this clip in here. And I'm using this clip to hide this abrupt change. So
Shell shocked.
The birds had roosted directly overhead.
give it a little more time to breathe.
Directly overhead, and when they gobbled, it scared us to death.
And maybe that might be a better way of doing this, is leave this clip as black and then bring this clip. Let's try this. Let's see how this looks. Bring this here. Pull the audio in from this clip and see what it sounds like. See if they're gobbling. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, this will be better. All right, so now we're gonna pull in this clip here, F, which is gonna be all black, which is fine. We might can find a different clip later on that would represent this better. But I like just the sound with no video. So let's go into this black here. Oh, I know what we can do. We can take this Osmo clip that was super dark, and we can use it here. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Here we go. Let's use this. Alright, and I like that of turning it on, so let's do this. Let's reverse this shot. Speed duration, reverse. Alright, we're going to shorten that up some, bring this back, see how this sounds.
The morning start. The morning started out with us getting shit.
Now let's pull this under here and just go really quiet with this. we still have audio. Pull this down.
The morning started out with us getting shell-shocked.
The birds had roosted directly over our head, and when they gobbled, it scared us to death. Scared us to death.
Yeah, they're right there to my right.
All right, so we're getting into the hunt, but I can't give too much away. I can't be giving you guys the kills and everything, and it doesn't take very long after this when we've got kills happening. So I think we're going to end the live stream there. It's going to be, we're at an hour and 11 minutes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of open this up for a couple questions while we're sitting here on, for the guys that have hung around. If you've got any quick questions that I can answer on the stream, I'll answer them real quick, and then we'll end the stream and go from there. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to go ahead and put questions in here. See what comes up. See if anybody's got any questions. Maybe everybody's professional editors now and they can just run with it. Time is it? Dang, it's 11 o'clock. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, let's see what else we got, guys. Nothing? Nobody? All right. Well, guys, I appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, we're going to be hopefully going to be doing a couple more of these. I can't really get too terribly in depth with these just because it's hard when you're not hands-on and here. I am going to start, or Ryra and I are going to start offering some one-on-one editing classes that we're going to do this exact same way, where, you guys could sign up. I could spend most of a day with you one-on-one, going through an edit, going through one of your edits, however you guys wanted to do it. We're working on price structure for stuff like that. This is the kind of stuff we're going to go over in the class in August 7th through 9th. So if you want to sit down and go through an edit with us in class, that's a good place to do it. Once we set up this one-on-one editing course, it's going to be just like this. You'll see us. You'll see our screen. We'll have you either on the phone or on live video chat. We'll walk you through step by step on exactly what you want to learn, and we'll go from there. So appreciate you guys hanging in there. We've had, several guys hanging in the whole time. So, guys, if you need anything, you can always reach out to us at Redneck Tech Podcast or rednecktechpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks, guys.